Tsvetana Pironkova is a Bulgarian tennis player and the current No. 1 Bulgarian in the WTA rankings. She is right-handed and plays with a two-handed backhand. Born in Plovdiv, Pironkova started playing tennis at the age of 4 on being introduced to the sport by her father, who later coached her. After playing at a junior level and winning Atlantic Cup, she made her senior international tournament debut in 2002 at the International Tennis Federation circuit. Early in her career, Pironkova won 6 international singles titles at the ITF circuit. Pironkova made her WTA Tour debut at the Istanbul Cup in 2005, and achieved moderate success earlier in her career. That changed in 2010, when she entered Wimbledon with a 1-4 career record at the event, and went on to reach the semi-finals of the tournament, becoming the second Bulgarian tennis player in history to reach the semi-final stage of a Grand Slam in singles. She garnered wide recognition for her performance, and after her semi-final finish reached her highest WTA singles ranking at No. 31 in September 2010. Pironkova followed it up with a quarter-final run at the event the following year, earning her the nickname, the Wimbledon Dark Horse. She is also known defeating Venus Williams 3 times at Grand Slam tournaments, twice at Wimbledon. Pironkova won her first WTA title at the 2014 Apia International, defeating 3 top 10 ranked players in a row. In 2016, Pironkova reached the quarter-finals at the 2016 French Open, defeating the world No. 2 Agnieszka Radwanska, making her first Grand Slam quarter-final, apart from Wimbledon. In addition to this, she has a total of 12 wins over other top 10 ranked players to her name. Pironkova has been recognized by the New York Times for her cerebral grass-court abilities and named one of the most beautiful women in sports by MSN Personal Life and Junior Career. Pironkova was born in 1987 to Kirill Inchev Pironkov, a former canoeing champion, and Radosveta Nikolova, a former swimming champion. She started playing tennis at the age of 4, when her father introduced her to the game. He later became her coach. Pironkova married her longtime boyfriend Mihail Murchev, former Bulgarian football player, in July 2016. In 2001, Pironkova won the Atlantic Cup International Junior Tournament held in Bulgaria, and her career high in juniors was World No. 227 in March 2002. Professional career. In August 2002, at the age of 14, Pironkova played her first professional tournament at the International Tennis Federation tournament in Bucharest, Romania. Pironkova won 3 qualifying matches before reaching the final in the main draw, where she lost to Monica Niculescu of Romania. In September 2002, Pironkova played in the ITF event in Volos, Greece, where she lost only 1 set playing through the qualifying and main draw. She defeated Tina Schmassmann of Switzerland to win her first professional ITF event. In 2003, she won 3 ITF singles titles, 1 in Orestiada and 2 in Istanbul. At the age of 17, Pironkova played in her first WTA tournament, the Tier 3 event in Istanbul, Turkey. After winning 2 qualifying matches, Pironkova won 3 matches in the main draw, before she lost in the semi-finals to Venus Williams. In January 2006, Pironkova made headlines by defeating Venus again in the first round of the 2006 Australian Open. Pironkova was ranked 94th in the world. However, in the next round, she lost to Laura Granville. In the first round of Wimbledon, Pironkova came from a set down to defeat then top 20 player Annalena Grönefeld. However, in the second round, she lost to Agnieszka Radwanska in straight sets. On the 16th of November 2006, Pironkova reached a career-high singles ranking of 62. 2007 to 2009 top 50 debut. In 2007, Pironkova lost in the first rounds of the Australian Open, French Open, and Wimbledon. She played in qualifying rounds for the US Open and beat Zuzana Ondruskova, Marta Domachowska, and Stephanie Dubois to reach the main draw. She drew Olga Puchkova from Russia in the first round, and won that match to set up a clash with world No. 1 Justine Henin in the second round. Pironkova lost to Henin in straight sets. After the US Open in September, Pironkova played in one of the biggest challenger events of the year in Bordeaux, winning the tournament with straight-set victories over Matilda Johansson, Tatjana Malik and Alizé Cornet. Pironkova made a solid start to 2008, winning 2 qualifying matches at the Tier 2 event in Sydney before bowing out in 3 sets to Dominika Cibulkova. She reached the second round of the Australian Open, losing to second-seeded Tsvetana Kuznetsova in straight sets. She caused another upset at the 2008 Rome Masters. As a qualifier, she beat top seed and world No. 3 Ana Ivanovic in the second round for the biggest victory of her career at the time. She advanced to the quarterfinals, her first ever at a Tier 1 event, when Victoria Azarenka retired during the third round match with Pironkova leading. In the quarterfinals she was defeated in 3 sets by Anna Chakvetadze. In September, Pironkova reached the final in an ITF event in Sofia, where she lost to Nuria Klagastera Vives. She ended the year ranked No. 46 in the world. Pironkova kicked off her 2009 season playing at Brisbane, where she lost in second round to Italy's Sara Errani. She made the quarterfinals at the 2009 Morilla Hobart International before she lost to Virginie Razzano. En route, she defeated then world No. 15 Patti Schneider. It was her 5th top 20 win in her career. At the Australian Open she defeated Carolina Sprem in the first round before losing to 16th-seeded Marion Bartoli. Playing at the Dubai Open, Pironkova reached the second round of the tournament, losing out to 12th seed Dominika Cibulkova. Seeded No. 8 at the first Andalusia Tennis Experience, Pironkova lost in the first round to Roberta Vinci. She won 4 matches at Stuttgart but lost to Agnieszka Radwanska in the round of 16. She also lost in the first rounds of the French Open and Wimbledon, both times to Jill Craibers in straight sets. She reached 2 ITF quarterfinals at Sofia and Athens. Pironkova played her last tournament of the season, Kremlin Cup, Moscow, where she came up with better performance, reaching the quarterfinals, defeating top-seeded Vera Zvonareva in round of 16 before losing out to Alona Bondarenko. 2010 First Grand Slam semi-final, Pironkova exited the Australian Open with a second round loss to world No. 28 Shahar Peer. She made her first ITF Tour appearance of the year in the Fort Walton Beach tournament, where she reached the semi-finals. In Warsaw she reached her first quarter-final of the year after defeating Elena Demontieva. She then lost to the defending and eventual champion Alexandra Dufresne. At the French Open, Pironkova lost to 4-time tournament champion Justine Henin in the first round, entering Wimbledon with a 1-4 career record at the event. Pironkova went beyond the second round of a Grand Slam tournament for the first time and became the first Bulgarian to reach a semi-final of a Grand Slam tournament since Manuela Maleva at the US Open in 1992 and 1993. Pironkova beat five-time champion Venus Williams in the quarterfinals. She then lost her first Grand Slam semi-final to Vera Zvonareva in 3 sets. En route to her maiden semi-final appearance, Pironkova beat 3 Russian players Anna Lapushchenkova, Vera Dushevina, and Regina Kulikova all in straight sets in the first 3 rounds, and then upstaged Frenchwoman and 11th seed Marion Bartoli in the 4th round, before taking out Williams. She reached the second round in Palermo, beating Italian Anna Florist before losing to Jill Krabers. In July, she scored a straight-set victory over Tatjana Malik in Istanbul. However, she then recorded 3 consecutive losses, 2 of which were to Anastasia Rodionova and 1 to Anna Lapushchenkova. At the US Open, Pironkova lost in the second round to qualifier Mandy Manella. At the 2011 Toray Pan-Pacific Open, she beat Japanese qualifier Ayumi Morita, before losing to qualifier Roberta Vinci in the second round. In her last tournament of the year, the 2010 Kremlin Cup, Pironkova lost in the second round to Dominika Cibulkova, and ended the year ranked No. 35 in the world. 2011 Wimbledon quarter-final. In the Australian Open, Pironkova fell in the second round to Monica Niculescu, having beaten Pauline Parmentier in the first round. Pironkova fell in the second round at the 2011 BNP Paribas Open to 16th seed Svetlana Kuznetsova in a tight 3-setter. She was seeded 32nd at the French Open and beat Casey Delacroix in the first round, but yet again failed to cross the second round hurdle as she lost to Gisela Dulko in straight sets. Pironkova entered Wimbledon as the 32nd seed. In the third round, she defeated world No. 3 and second seed Vera Zvonareva in straight sets, thus avenging her loss in the semi-finals the previous year. In the fourth round, she went on to defeat former champion Venus Williams for the second year straight at the championships, then lost in the quarterfinals to eventual champion Petra Kvitova. In July, Pironkova competed in the Internazionale Femminile di Palermo tournament, where she defeated Anna Tatishvili in the first round and Sorana Cirstea in the second, before losing to Flavia Pennetta in the quarterfinals. At the 2011 US Open, Pironkova defeated Virginie Razzano in the first round, but lost to world No. 13 Peng Shuai in the second. She teamed with Chanel Scheepers in the doubles tournament, but they were defeated by Arantxa Parasantonia and Nuria Klagastera Vibes. At the 2011 Toray Pan-Pacific Open, Pironkova beat Gisela Dulko in the first round, but then lost to Vera Zvonareva in the second. At the 2011 Kremlin Cup, Pironkova beat Petra Martic, after Martic retired due to injury. She then lost to Svetlana Kuznetsova in the second round and ended the year at No. 46 in the world. 2012 US Open fourth round. Pironkova began 2012 representing Bulgaria at the 2012 Hopman Cup, losing to Petra Kvitova. Pironkova and her partner Grigor Dimitrov defeated Tomas Berdych and Kvitova in doubles. Despite the win, the team of Bulgaria lost to the Czech Republic, after Pironkova and Dimitrov lost the singles matches. Afterward, the team was victorious against Denmark 2-1. They scored a victory over the United States, but finished second in Group A and didn't qualify for the final. At the Australian Open, Pironkova defeated Sanya Mirza in the first round, before losing to Galina Voskobova in the second. She again represented Bulgaria in the Fed Cup, alongside Elitsa Kostova, Dia Evtimova, and Isabella Shinnikova. They scored the first victory, beating Estonia. Later, the team lost to Austria, then lost again to Portugal and finished in 7th place in the group. Pironkova competed in the 2012 Qatar Total Open, recording a victory over Angelique Kerber in the second round, but losing to Marion Bartoli in the third. She reached the second round of the 2012 Sony Ericsson Open, losing to Roberta Vinci. At the Brussels Open, Pironkova reached the quarter-finals, falling to Gaia Kanepi. She then reached the second round of the French Open, losing to former champion Francesca Schiavone. At the 2012 Aegon International, Pironkova reached her second quarter-final of the season after defeating No. 1-seeded Agnieszka Radwanska and qualifier Stephanie Dubois, losing to eventual champion Tamira Pashik. At the 2012 Wimbledon Championships, Pironkova lost a second-round match to Maria Sharapova in 3 sets. She reached the quarter-finals of the 2012 Swedish Open, losing to Polona Hercog. At the 2012 US Open, Pironkova reached the third round of a Grand Slam besides Wimbledon for the first time. She defeated Camila Giorgi in the first round, Ayumi Morita in the second, and Silvia Soler Espinosa in the third. In the fourth round, with her first US Open quarter-final in sight, she was upset by former world No. 1 Anna Ivanovic. Her last tournament of the year was the 2012 Qatar Airways Tournament of Champions, where she entered with a wild card. She lost to Caroline Wozniacki in the semi-finals. 2013 Wimbledon fourth round. Pironkova reached the quarter-finals of the 2013 Morilla Hobart International in Australia, where she lost to the defending champion Mona Barthel. She had beaten Irina Camelia Begu and third seed Klara Koukalova in the round of 16. She was eliminated in the first round of the Australian Open by Romina Oprandi. In February, Pironkova took part in the Fed Cup tie Bulgaria vs Netherlands, defeating Arantxa Rus in straight sets, helping Bulgaria win the tie. She later helped Bulgaria win the tie against Luxembourg with a victory over veteran Anne Kremer. On the 9th of February, she played in the tie against Slovenia and beat TJASA Srimpf after Srimpf retired after losing the first game of the match, which advanced Bulgaria to the promotion playoffs. In the playoff tie against Great Britain on the 10th of February, Pironkova lost against Heather Watson in 3 sets, meaning that Bulgaria lost the tie and remained in the Fed Cup Europe-Africa Group 1. Following a string of first-round losses, Pironkova beat Carolina Pliskova in Marrakesh, but then lost in 3 sets to Lourdes Dominguez-Lyanumber, who went on to reach the final. She then lost a series of first-round matches throughout the remainder of the clay court season, culminating with an early exit at the French Open. On her preferred surface of grass, Pironkova snapped her losing streak at the Aegon Classic in Birmingham, defeating Lauren Davis in the opening round. She dropped her second-round match to Sorana Cirstea. She went on to play in Hertogenbosch, where she beat Kristina Mladenovic and Irina Camelia Begu, marking the first time since January that she reached the quarter-finals of a WTA event. She then lost to Carla Suarez Navarro in 3 sets. At the 2013 Wimbledon Championships, she won against 21st seed Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in the first round and then went on to beat Barbora Strykova and Petra Martic in the next 2 rounds. She came close to causing another huge upset at the tournament when she was up a set against 4th seed Agnieszka Radwanska, but eventually lost in 3 sets to the former finalist. 2014 first WTA title. Pironkova started the 2014 season ranked outside the top 100 at No. 107. She made it through the qualifying draw at the 2014 Apia International Sydney tournament. In the main draw, she defeated World No. 7 Sara Errani in the quarterfinals and World No. 6 Petra Kvitova in the semi-finals, both in straight sets. She then defeated 9th-ranked Angelique Kerber to win her first WTA Tour title. Pironkova was the first qualifier to win a WTA Premier event in 3.5 years, moved up 50 places in the world rankings, and was the first Bulgarian to win a WTA event in over 10 years. Pironkova's run in Australia ended at the Australian Open with a second-round straight set loss to Samantha Stosur, managing to win just 2 games. After the Australian Open, she reached a ranking of No. 52. Next, in February, Pironkova played in Qatar, where she made it through the qualifying rounds. She beat veteran 11th seed and world No. 14 Roberta Vinci in the first round, losing just 6 games. However, Pironkova's good run ended in the second round, where she lost to youngster No. 55 Anna Kebek, after winning the first set on a tiebreak. After Qatar, she played in Dubai. In the first round of qualifying, she beat world No. 487 Vitalia Diachenko in a long and hard match, losing the first set on a tiebreak, saving a match point in the 10th game of the second set, then winning the second set again on a tiebreak, and was leading in the third set when her opponent retired. However, in what was her second loss against the Canadian out of 2 matches, she lost in the second qualifying round to youngster No. 19 Eugenie Bouchard. Next, in March, Pironkova played at the Indian Wells hard court event, where she started in the main draw. She lost in straight sets to No. 38 Madison Keys in the first round. She then played in Miami, where she beat Galina Voskobova and 25th seed Sorana Cirstea without losing a set, but then lost in the third round to 5th seed Angelique Kerber, who went on to reach the quarterfinals. Pironkova moved 5 places up the rankings after Miami, to No. 42. In April, she played at the indoor hardcourt event in Katowice, where she was seeded A. In the first round, Pironkova beat Andrea Levakova after losing the first set. In round 2, in what was her 5th loss against the Israeli out of 8 matches, she lost to world No. 90 Shahar, whom she also lost to in this same event in 2013. Pironkova then played in the qualifying for the indoor clay court event in Stuttgart, where she was the top seed and the top-ranked player at No. 40. In the first round of qualifying, she beat local teenager Taoiseach Maud Erger, but then lost to No. 221 Giulio Barbieri in the second qualifying round. Next, in May, she played in Madrid, where she started in the main draw and lost to wildcard No. 145 Lara Arruabarrena in round 1. Pironkova then played in Rome, where she lost to qualifier No. 69 Petra Setkovska in round 1, despite easily winning the first set. She then played at Roland Garros. In round 1, she beat No. 49 Annika Beck, whom she had never beaten before. Pironkova then faced a major test in round 2, in what was her 5th loss out of 5 matches, despite being a break-up in the first set, to 7th seed No. 8 Maria Sharapova, who went on to win the tournament. In June, Pironkova played at the Eastbourne grass court event, where in round 1 she lost to local wildcard No. 70 Heather Watson, who went on to reach the semi-finals. Pironkova then played Wimbledon, where she faced No. 57 Varvara Lepchenko in the first round and lost in a match that was played over 2 days. Next, in July, she played at the Istanbul hard-court event, where she was unseeded. In what was the second match between the two and second loss for Pironkova, she lost to No. 72 Stephanie Vogel in the first round. Pironkova played in Cincinnati, where she lost in the first round to Carla Suarez Navarro. Then she fell in New Haven in the qualifying draw. In August, at the US Open, she reached the second round, where in what was her 6th loss to the Serb out of 6 matches, she lost to 9th seed Jelena Jankovic. In September, Pironkova played in Wuhan, where she lost in the qualifying draw. Her second tournament in September was the China Open, where she lost in the second round to world No. 1 Serena Williams. Next, she reached the quarterfinals in Linz, before losing to Karen Knapp. The next week, she reached her second quarterfinal of the month in Moscow, where she fell to eventual finalist Irina Camelia Begu. Pironkova was awarded a wild card for the final tournament of the year, the Tournament of Champions. She lost all her matches in the round-robin stage and finished 4th in her group. Pironkova started the year ranked No. 50. She began the season at the 2015 Brisbane International and lost her first round match to 7th seed Carla Suarez Navarro. Then she returned to Sydney to play the 2015 AIPA International as the defending champion and once again had to go through qualifying, as she was not given a wildcard entry. At the time, Pironkova was ranked No. 67 and lost the points from her title. She beat 8th seed Flavia Pennetta in the first round in straight sets, then overcoming unseeded Madison Keys and Barbora Zalavova Strikova both in straight sets, but then lost in the semi-finals to second seed and eventual champion Petra Kvitova in a repeat of the 2014 semi-finals. With this defeat, she ended her 14-match winning streak at the tournament. Pironkova then played at the Australian Open, where she beat unseeded Heather Watson in the first round, but then in what was her 8th loss against the Slovak out of 9 matches, lost to 11th seed Dominika Cibulkova in the second round. Again in straight sets, Pironkova reached the third round of the 2015 Dubai Tennis Championships, where she beat Klara Koukalova and Peng Shuai, before losing to top seed world No. 2 Simona Halep in straight sets. At Indian Wells, she lost in the first round, reached the second round in Miami, losing to 15th seed Flavia Pennetta in 3 tight sets. She reached second rounds in both Prague and Madrid, losing to top seeds Karolina Pliskova and Lucy Safarova, respectively. She suffered a first-round defeat in Rome. At the 2015 French Open, Pironkova reached the third round, where she upset 25th seed Barbora Strikova and then took out another Czech player Denisa Alitova, both in straight sets, before losing to American Sloane Stephens. The third-round appearance at the Roland Garros was her best to date. Pironkova started her grass season at the 2015 Aegon Classic Birmingham, where in the first round she beat Brit Katie Stan, but came short against German 4th seed Angelique Kerber, losing in 3 sets. She then reached her second Premier-level event quarter-final in 2015 in Eastbourne at the 2015 Aegon International, where she she beat Marina Arakovic in the first round, 16th seed Samantha Stosa, and former Grand Slam finalist Dominika Cibulkova, before being beaten by eventual finalist Agnieszka Radwanska. At the 2015 Wimbledon Championships, she lost to 30th seed and Aegon International winner Belinda Bencic in 3 sets. She then entered the 2015 Istanbul Cup as the 8th seed and reached her 3rd quarterfinal of the year. She beat Margarita Gasparian and Kurumi Nara, both in 3 sets, but lost to Ursula Radwanska in 3 sets in a tiebreak in the final set. 2016 Roland Garros quarter-final. Pironkova started her 2016 season with a loss to Samantha Crawford in 2016 Brisbane qualifying. Pironkova played the 2016 Apia International Sydney, where she received a wild card to the main draw and reached the 2nd round, beating Ligia Surenko before losing to number 8 seed Belinda Bencic. Her next tournament was the Australian Open, where she lost in the first round to Yaroslava Shvedova. After the Australian swing, her next tournament was the Dubai Tennis Championships, where she entered the main draw after beating Kristina Pliskova, Katarina Bondarenko and Annalena Fried-Sam in the qualifying. She lost to eventual finalist Barbora Strykova in the first round. At Roland Garros, the 102nd ranked Pironkova upset 16th seed Sara Errani in the first round and 19th seed Sloane Stephens in the 3rd round, both in straight sets. In the 4th round against world No. 2 Agnieszka Radwanska, after Pironkova was a set and 3 games down, the match was cancelled due to rain and resumed after 2 days. The Bulgarian took advantage of the situation, dominating the rest of the match after the pause by winning 12 out of 15 games, thus eventually reaching the quarterfinals and becoming the first Bulgarian since Cezil Karatancheva in 2005 to reach this stage of the tournament. Pironkova's run at Roland Garros ended with a loss to Samantha Stosa. In June, Pironkova's good performance continued on grass court. She passed through the qualification rounds of the Birmingham event, and then in the 2nd round the Bulgarian beat number 26 Irina Camelia Begu to reach the quarterfinals, where she was eliminated by Barbora Strykova. Pironkova then exited the 2016 Wimbledon in the first round after losing to 7th seed Belinda Bencic in 2 tight sets. In August, Pironkova participated in the 2016 Summer Olympics. She lost in the opening round to German Laura Siegemund. She next played the Cincinnati Masters, making her way to the 2nd qualifying round by beating Katarina Kozlova. She then lost to Annika Beck of Germany, but was allowed into the main draw as a lucky loser. In the first round she faced Daria Kasatkina, overcoming her 6-1, 6-1. In the next round she lost to world number 8 Roberta Vinci, 5-7, 3-6. Towards the end of the month she lost in the first round of qualifying in New Haven in straight sets. Playing style: Pironkova plays right-handed, and uses a double-handed backhand. She prefers fast surfaces. Pironkova is noted for her powerful backhand, with the down-the-line backhand being one of her best shots. She is also known for her squash shot forehand and for mixing flat shots into rallies. She often draws her opponent forward with short balls to set up passing shots. Overall, Pironkova is not a hard-hitting player, but she makes very intelligent use of the court and its geometry. Her main weakness is her serve. Honors: Best Progressing Player of the Year in Bulgaria 2005.